Some tips and tricks while you guys are practicing your shoulder stands. So make sure you can videotape it because then you can see what adjustments need to be made. Videotaping it from sideways will let you see where your hips are in relation to your shoulders and where you need to make those adjustments. If you're arching your hips when you get to the top, that's making you tip over, etc. So that'll be super helpful. Make sure you do a sufficient warm up. You want to warm your neck up really good and your shoulders really good, as well as your back and your hamstrings for this. So make sure you warm your bodies up real good. If you're having trouble, and you feel like it's a little bit of a flexibility issue, you can also place blocks underneath of your feet when you're in the straddle position, when you're trying to lift the feet off the floor. Giving them a little bit of height will help with that, and then you can really focus on the getting tall through the torso and the spine there to get the stack to happen. Also, when your legs are in the straddle position, you want them as straight and strong and reaching as you possibly can. That's going to help kind of balance you once you get them in the air. So hopefully those things will help you out. Let me know how it goes. Send me updates, questions, whatever. I miss you. I will hopefully see you soon. Hi, you guys. I'm gonna do a little shoulder stand tutorial. I have progressions to find the balance point, see if you can get it off the floor. There's lots of steps in between though that are great for using on the floor, and they're the foundational skills to get it up there. Just know that this takes repetition, and I fell over 1,000 times before I could ever find the balance. So that's just part of the deal. It helps if you have, maybe you start this close to a wall or a piece of furniture or something that's heavy and sturdy. So if you do fall back, it can catch you. So we'll start with the first progression. I like to start in a stag position. I'll also show you a variation from starting laying on your stomach. I'm going to start with the stag position. The shoulder I want to be shoulder standing on is going to be the same leg that's in the front in the stag. This arm I like to have out to the side like this behind my back. So it'll be like this on the floor, palm to ceiling. Some people like to have it in front like this, also an option. So this arm is pushing into the floor from the palm all the way up through the top of that shoulder. It's very engaged and rigid here. I'm really thinking about pushing like this into the floor. Super important. You don't want to be mushy. And the other hand is going to be holding my pizza tray, and it's going to be doing this motion into the floor. You can flat palm it if you want. You can Spider-Man fingers if you want, get a little bit more movement control in there. It's up to you. Just make sure this hand is in front of your face, and it's hand directly underneath of the elbow there. Head position, super important. The same ear as the shoulder that's behind me, straight, the shoulder I'm going to be shoulder standing on, that ear is going to be on the floor. This needs to be super neutral. This will totally mess up your balance. A lot of times people don't get it because of this. So you don't want to have your chin tucked to your chest because that's going to hollow you and make you fall back and roll. You also don't want it to be arched away from your chest either, which will push your chest open and mess with the balance. So I'm really trying to keep it super neutral, almost like I have a grapefruit there. And I'm putting it straight out to the side of my shoulder. So I pick a line that's on the floor, and I line my ear up and make sure I'm looking forward. So I'm going to start to come down to the floor, ear on the floor, shoulder on the floor, pressing in with that right hand. I'm going to start to get some momentum to lift my hips by swooping my back leg straight as I push, push, push into both arms. Keeping my right leg bent and my left leg straight. I'm going to bring my hips as far over my shoulders as I can here. So I'm really trying to bring them in close to my shoulders as much as I can. And then I'm going to reverse just the way I came in. So my right leg is going to stay bent and my left leg is going to stay straight, and I'm going to start to rotate to the outside of that right knee and then push up. So that's progression 1. Progression 2, same thing. I'm going to slide up with my right leg bent and my left leg straight. Once I feel comfortable there, I'm as far back as I can get, those hips over the shoulders. I'm really trying to bring my legs in close to my shoulders. I'm gonna see if I can straighten the right leg. So again, I'm down. I really wanna push into both arms. Slide left leg up straight, push, push, push. From here, once I get as far as I can, you can even shelf this left leg on top of that box you made with the left arm. And then I'm gonna start to straighten my right leg and get really tall and strong here through the hips. To reverse, bend the right, reverse the way you came, slide out, push. For our third step, we go 1, straighten 2, start to slide the toes back a little bit and see if you can just lift them a tiny bit. Think about getting tall through the torso and the hips. And then reverse back. Having my legs as far out to the sides and in as I can, and then finding that stack by getting tall. Because essentially when you're going into this position, you are tucking your pelvis a little bit to keep your feet on the floor while you stack your hips. So from the side, my pelvis is still a little bit tucked here, which is keeping my feet on the floor. And then once I get here, the only thing that's lifting them is that tallness through my spine. I feel that a lot in my lower back. So it is literally what's lifting my feet is this. Just that little adjustment with the pelvis, because I will be kind of tucked, keeping my feet angled to the floor, and then get tall to lift. So there is not a lot of movement happening with the hips at all. I'm just doing that big tall engagement, neutral spine. Just make sure when it feels heavy, you're always engaging and pushing the floor away like this. Hopefully that helps. Just remember, you will fall over a lot of times. But that's okay, because that's part of the deal.